nice. Talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes. Don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. When we rewind, feels so nice.
When the ladies are beefing, you'll hear something and you'll be like, whoa. You know, you said what? And I think when it gets to that whoa level, you kind of got to say something.
Amongst women, I don't worry about Heavenly. Like, I'm not, she'll be all right. Heavenly gets along with everybody.
You okay?
Did Damon just say Heavenly gets along with everyone?
You didn't fall and hit your head. You got a head injury.
No.
My man Damon is gone, man. He's gone. My man Damon is gone.
Heavenly has the potential to have no issues
It's only a
with
matter of time.
everybody.
It's the same as me. That's why my rule has always been, I'm not going to disrespect a woman or someone's wife, because then you put the guy into the position where now you force me to stand up.
Yeah, but your wife put me in it. Your wife said, you know, I'm not respected in the medical community. My practice is this, my practice is that.
You okay then, man? You all right?
Listen, man, are you all right? I want to make Damon aware that the things that his wife says are very hurtful and untrue. And I feel like he should stop her. Heavenly goes in. She goes in. When
Why are you so sensitive, man? Don't talk about my wife.
You came at me and then your wife said reckless stuff, then all of a sudden I'm involved. So that makes you sensitive?
This is absolutely the most awkward we've ever been.
This is good.
I should have went to Quad's bar. We gonna do this.
Like, are y'all good? Like, 'cause I'm sitting between y'all. What happened specifically?
I didn't have a problem with you. I never said that you directly cheated on Heavenly. I never said that. She said that when Mariah had the receipts, she believed Mariah.
I would have took that as a pseudo apology. Like, hey, I said this. This wasn't meant for you. Is that how you took it or no?
My goal was not to be upset with Sweet Tea, but there's certain jabs that bother people more than other ones do. That one bothers me.
I've known Greg for at least 12 years, and I felt like he knew me enough to say Damon's character is different than that.
You know how our wives are.
They share personal with one another, and then when they get mad, they try to air people's dirty laundry. And that's, I mean, women do that.
I don't think Heavenly and Sweet Tea were close enough ever to really share.
Hell no. That's a bold-faced lie.
I guess the biggest thing that I hate is it affected patient care.
Nah, it really didn't. But like I'm, you know, very, very busy. Damon is accusing me of rejecting his patients.
You could be mad with Heavenly, you could be, but don't turn your back on the patients, man. Like, people need you, man.
Nah. It's just that, like, I'm very, very busy. Since all this has happened, we haven't had as much of a professional relationship. You know, there was a time that I would go out of my way to accommodate, you know, patients for Damon. But at this point, I'm just not in a position to do that. And, you know, certain types of patients require a lot more time and a lot more energy. And so if I don't have it, it's best for me to say, look, I can't accept that right now. You know, that's all.
Obviously, I would think it was because of all the stuff that happened.
You'd be mistaken. If I could make everybody happy, I would.
In terms of me and you, like, it's all good, man, in my turn.
You know, I do feel like he has heard me on this, and I'm hoping that he can, you know, redirect his wife, because, you know, it's a shame.
We can end this
I
tonight.
thought this was a very mature conversation.
No, I agree. I think this was a good conversation.
At one point, I was worried about my safety sitting in between you guys, but
That's why you're there.
For them to start this conversation, I think it's a step in the right direction. It still seems a little superficial to me, but at least it was a start.
we'll be okay. I mean, the girls, they're grown. They'll be all right.
All right, so Dr. Damon, he always comes across as extremely kind and quiet. He's like the yin to Dr. Heavenly's yang, or vice versa. Shoot, it's been years since I learned about yin and yang, so I can't remember which is which. But either way, like they say, opposites attract. Dr. Heavenly is very opinionated. She's very loud. She shares her views. She really doesn't care what other people think about what she has to say. A lot of times she is not right, and there are times that she is right. And so this conversation between Dr. Greg and Dr. Damon, to me, was extremely awkward. And I was laughing. I was laughing when Toya's husband was like, look, do I need to get up from between you two? And even when Cecil said, shoot, I should have been at Quad's party if I was going to be dealing with the drama like this. But Damon needs to know that Dr. Heavenly was wrong. Whether Dr. Heavenly felt like what Letitia said was going to affect her practice, and she doesn't play about her business and her medical practice, so she decided to go for the jugular. It's like, And I heard Dr. Heavenly on Alexander Rogers' YouTube channel, actually, where he was doing a review of Married to Medicine, and I found it a little bit funny, because I know how Alexander can go in, and I get it when you have somebody who is actually from the show on your platform. That is a big, major thing. So I can understand him not wanting to offend and, cause there to be a rift so he doesn't have that opportunity anymore. But I was really surprised that he didn't go in as much as he could have. And I'm not saying he had to go in and be offensive to her or offend her, but there are some things that I know that he would not agree with, that he should have just said, well, you know what, I don't see it that way, but I get where you're coming from, or you're free to have your opinion about it, but that's not how I see it. He was agreeing with her with some stuff, and I was like, hold up, is this Alexander Rogers? But I digress, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. But when Dr. Heavenly was on his channel, she said something, and she said, well, Letitia, she don't have nothing to lose, so I decided to go for her husband. Well, I beg to differ now. She may not be making as much money as Dr. Heavenly and her husband is making. Fine. But she does have a government job. Let's be clear. And that may not be something that she sees as valuable, meaning Heavenly, but it doesn't mean that it's something that Letitia doesn't see as something valuable for her that she would have to lose. She's married to her husband, but she's still working. She's not some little kept woman. She's married to a doctor now. So yeah, her status has increased. She's on a television show. And whether you hate Letitia or love her, I don't have an issue with Letitia. I actually kind of like her. I like that she's not just like gonna let them put her in the corner, and like that's, I feel like, what they tried to do in the beginning. And yeah, she may have been awkward and said some things that were uncomfortable and whatever, but this is this man's wife, Dr. Gregory. And Dr. Heavenly, she is known to be treacherous with her mouth. Like, she was talking crap about the woman and then went to her wedding. And then when they iced her out for a moment, but then production, said, no, you got to let her in, which was weird, especially since it wasn't like they were paying for her wedding and her wedding reception. She and her husband were paying for it. So I didn't understand that, but yet and still, Dr. Heavenly was being fake with her when she was at the reception, and she came over and she was like, I love you, girl. And it's like, and no, you don't, because when Alexander Rogers was talking to her about her, she was like, you know what? I don't have nothing for that bitch. Like, don't even bring her up because I just don't even want to talk about her. But you said to her, you know, I love you. Like, that's fake. That's fake. And I feel like even at that, Alexander should have just like asking her about that, even if that was from last season. Because she brought it up from this season to say, I don't have nothing for her. Don't even bring her up. I don't even want to talk about her. He could have rebutted to say, but hey, you went to her wedding and at the wedding reception, you gave her a hug and said, you know, I love you. So like, why is it different now? And it's always a point of contention with Heavenly when it comes to her marriage. I get it. For some people, some things that, you know, say are off limits. Like when and I'll never forget this, when Nene on Real Housewives of Atlanta, whatever season it was, and she was being honest, but she was making fun of Candy, and she was saying, you know, about Candy, don't talk about my man, my child, or my mama. Like, yeah, when Candy is like, those are the things that you can't talk about with her. But Mariah, she must have hit a button, because when she said what she said, I don't know what season it was, whether it was season 3, season 4, it hit a button.
Do I need to bring the receipt, baby girl? Because I got receipts.
So now whenever it comes to the possibility of Damon ever being unfaithful to her, and I'm not saying that it's impossible, because I'm not one of those people that feels like all men cheat. All men don't cheat, just like all women are not whores. You know, like, miss me with the stereotypes. I can't stand when people do that type of stuff. But I'm saying, whenever it comes to the possibility of Damon ever being unfaithful to her, like, she just doesn't want to go there at all. But I don't think Letitia, known as Sweet Tea, I don't think that she came on that show and lied when she said that you told me that when Mariah brought it up, you believed her. I don't think Letitia's lying about that. You can let me know what you think, but I don't believe Letitia lied about that. Just like I don't believe Letitia lied when she said that Dr. Heavenly told her that she almost went up against her husband's head with a frying pan. I believe it. I don't think she's lying about that. But Damon, like, Heavenly wasn't even in the room. So, like, does she have you by the balls even when she's not around? Like, he couldn't say when he was in the group of men having a conversation to say, you know what? Heavenly was wrong. She should not have came for your practice. I don't agree with her with that. And I'm sorry that she did that. He just was responding like, don't talk about my wife. And Dr. G was like, well, hell no, she brought me in and she talked about me and my practice. I'm not sitting here talking about your wife. I'm talking about what she said about me and my practice. Period. And Damon wouldn't want anyone out here trashing his practice or his wife's practice for that matter. So to say don't talk about my wife, that sounds like Dr. Heavenly speaking on his behalf. Because that just was not the appropriate response. I didn't like that at all. But you guys can let me know what you think, because that turned me off. I don't dislike him, but I don't like what he said. And he's just coming across real soft right now. I'm not saying that being the man, being the husband, being the provider, the protector, the head of the household, that you have to be an asshole and exert this brutal force energy. But hell, you can check your wife, especially when she ain't in the room, for God's sake. Like, just say she was wrong. She should not have come to she should not have come for your practice. So for Damon to try to spin the narrative to say, well, look, just don't turn your back on the patients. I'm referring patients to your practice and you're turning them away. And I felt like it has something to do with us. I do believe Dr. G took it personally and decided to, you know, when it comes to the business, to reject the patients that are being referred to his practice by Dr. Damon because of what Heavenly said. I can get that. But even then, Dr. G should have been honest to say, well, yeah, she came for my practice, so I'm not going to receive your patients as my own. I don't have time. So anyway, guys, you guys let me know what you think about this in the comments. Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the holy mess.